we agreed to start on this episode of the podcast like what, 2 weeks ago, right? What?
It's not recording. I mean, I'm just gonna plop this right into the episode. If you guys don't know why I'm feeling exasperated, it's because we were actually already rolling for like 5 to 7 minutes, and I just realized that I didn't click record on the fucking Zoom button, which is the audio recorder device that I have. So we are actually recording this separately on 3 cameras, 1, 2, 3, and the audio is separate. And we were rolling on all the fucking cameras, but not on the fucking audio device. So that fucking sucks. We were talking so much shit. But I guess now we can filter out whatever things that I don't want to talk about. So anyway, I just have to restart this whole shit again. Hello everyone, I'm Andric, and we are doing a new show called This Content. You are?
I am Zachary.
So when you do introduce yourself, do it to this camera. This is your camera.
I am Zachary.
Okay. And this is a new show that me and Zack are doing. It's again not going to be like super consistent. We do it if we feel like it, but we'll try to do it at least once a month. And every episode will be video episode, so it won't just be audio, it will be on YouTube. Probably not on Spotify. I think I don't do Spotify already lah.
I don't want to eliminate that possibility yet. I don't know.
You want to take over the Spotify?
I didn't say that.
Then what's this about? You don't want to eliminate? I do, or is it I do or you do it?
Okay.
But we see how lah. But from the start, when I wanted to do podcasts, I have always wanted to do video podcasts to begin with. Having an audio is a sure kind of thing, but video has always been what I'm attracted to. So first things first, I've already said it once, but I'll say it again. Kudos to Zack for coming up with this name, This Content. I tasked you with the job of naming this podcast, and you used part of the company's name. So good job on that. What was your motivation behind this name?
Okay, so I'll find this funny because I'll say it again. I've always liked puns. I've always liked wordplay. So I always like those names that, kind of combines two words in a way, and then gives it a double or triple meaning. If you know, we've had this discussion. Logan Paul, he has the podcast. The podcast name is called Impulsive, which is a play on the word impulsive, and it uses his name. So I like names like that. So I was trying to figure out how can I. Obviously, it has to be a word that actually exists. It can't just be a made up word first, which the word discontent does exist. And then after that, I have to find out, okay, the word content is in the word discontent. So this, D-I-S, what can I use? It can be like the slang this, because people say, hey, look at this, D-I-S.
Sure.
Or this.
Or like who this.
Or who this. Or like this as in like insult, D-I-S-S.
Yeah.
Or and also like T-H-I-S and stuff like that.
Sure.
So it's like a triple meaning because it means this content that we're talking about right now. It can be discontent, meaning causes like I forget what's the meaning of discontent, was like misery or whatever, And also it's the slang version of the word T-H-I-S, this. So that's where I got it.
I see. Well, again, good job on the name. I feel like when you first told me about it, I can't remember where. I fell in love with it almost immediately.
It was in a taxi or a Grab.
Was it?
Yeah, it was in a Grab.
Yeah, I thought it was in Woodlands or something.
Well, maybe we came back. I actually don't know where we came back from, but it was definitely in a Grab. I remember. Because I remember that because I was afraid that you actually wouldn't like the name, and when you laughed and you said it was nice, I remember that moment.
Well, this is the first and last episode of This Content. Mainly because it's the first episode of the actual thing that we are doing, but the last episode of the year, so we won't be meeting anymore until next year. And we'll try to do it at least once a month for you guys if you guys enjoy the content. But even if you don't, who fucking cares? We are gonna do it because it's our chance to create something of our own. I mean, for you it's probably been only about a year, but for me it's been like 10 to 11 years that 99% of the content I create is for my clients. I don't really have a lot of chances to create stuff on my own, and I guess this is one where I have full creative control. Well, I mean, me and Zack do. So this is something that we are doing it really for us, and it's really just to catch up at least once a month if we can, if work is not too freaking busy. Most of the episodes, I don't think we'll have a theme. It will mostly just be on the premise of catching up and rounding out the month. But sometimes we can have half a team, like maybe we can do the Batman episode, which is slated to be in March, because that would be like 1 year later, right? Which you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe segments in one podcast.
You know, actually, I was thinking about the Batman thing that you mentioned, right? If you ask me, I half agree with you. Like, I don't want to just do the Batman. We can start off with the Batman 1 year later. 1 year later, a retrospective. But I want to go into the whole DCEU nonsense as well.
I think that will be for a different one.
We see how lah. Because I don't know if I want to dedicate just one episode to one thing. I think, like, I feel that our episode should have a lot of things scattered in together, but so not like really in depth into one thing, but just a few topics scattered here and there. Yeah, then we see how lah. Okay, so rounding out the year, how has the year been for you?
Okay, now we're really going into fresh, because this is the point where...
Yeah, this is the point that we got. That I realized that we're not recording.
So this is... Okay. So, we got the idea to start a podcast like 2 weeks ago. I'd say.
More than that.
More than that? Okay.
More than that.
So...
I think since November, we already were talking about it.
Okay. So you already told me what it was going to be, which is a roundup of 2022.
That's 2-3 weeks ago, more or less.
So you told me what it was going to be, which is a roundup of 2022. So I had that question in mind. I knew you were going to ask me, like, how has 2022 been for you? And the most accurate way I can say it, which is still a bit ambiguous, I admit, is it's been a bit of a mixed bag.
Okay.
On one hand, it's been an interesting year, definitely, but a mixed bag, where I've started my job, my very first like actual like full-time job, you know, but at the same time not wanting to get into it. In my personal life, there's been a bit of turmoil, which, you know, it's important to me, but in the grand scheme of things, like as compared to other people's personal lives that has problems, it's not that bad, but it is important to me. I admit it. It's probably like first world. Technically, in a way, it's first world problems, but you know, it did leave an impact on me. So, and it did leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. So, overall, it has been a mixed year, but at the same time, an interesting one. Oh yeah, and also I'm planning on starting part-time uni next year. So this is I decided to sign up for part-time uni this year, and I managed to get in. So I would say it's probably like a 60-40. 60 good, 40 bad.
Wow, so much.
Yeah.
Like 60 good, 40 bad is quite a lot. Like mine is okay lah. Mine is, I would say, 70-30 or 80-20. I think maybe in the middle, 75-25.
Okay.
It's not too bad. I feel like I've had a relatively good year. But you share more. Like I mean you can redact the personal stuff if you don't want to share it with the whole world. But well, look at me, whole world, huh? But more like, why is the 40 so high?
I would say it's more of the how important it is to me. But the 60 is because of sheer volume of good things that happen.
Okay.
So the 40 it's in a way the biggest thing in the 40 is that one personal thing that happened, along with like slightly lesser things.
It's the one that I know about, right?
Yeah, it's the one you know
okay.
about.
Yeah,
So,
the one it's fine if you don't want to share. It won't be too personal.
I could maybe if maybe eventually when I'm more comfortable in the podcast, who knows? But we'll see. But yeah, for the 40 is probably that one thing, and then the 60 is probably the fact that three big things happen this year. So,
which is you start your new job, you go into uni and
I remember there was a third thing. Oh wait, no, the third thing involves the bad thing. Like there's a positive to the bad thing.
Right.
So
okay.
that one I can't talk about.
So like something good that came out of it.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Do you want to elaborate on anything else?
What else is there to elaborate?
I don't know. You tell me. It's your life. It's your year. I'm not hinting you that I'm legit asking, do you want to elaborate?
I'll just say that.
Like how's work? How's dealing with clients?
I'll just say that this year, being that I have a new job, it was a different. After getting out of army and then going to a job, there was a level of adjustment to have, so that was about it. Just to understand, not so much the schedule. I think the schedule was fine, you know, like having to wake up at a specific time. Well, just get to work by a specific time, do your work by a specific time, and you can go, you know, and then so work wasn't that bad. It was more of adjusting to the amount of work, because I mean, like, you know, after in the first like 3-4 months, I only could do like 1 video a day. Now I've moved on to like 2, you know.
You sure?
Yeah, normal home tour videos.
Then OGP stuff?
OGP, there's more than 1 video. What?
Yeah, but it's just repurposing them. Like you do the one, which is already relatively easy because you don't have to do map animation.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's just repurposing them and separating them to different smaller clips, ma.
Yeah, but you got warp stabilizer. The warp stab takes a lot. And
I don't even warp step on the TikTok
You don't?
stuff. Like, I don't.
Oh my god.
I don't warp step on TikTok because if you warp step on portrait videos, it comes out wonky no matter what you do. And it will be wonky for sure.
I wish I have known that before.
You never asked. How you know you warp step everything? I mean, don't shoot me if I assume that you will be able to recognize shots that might be wonky, like the final product. Okay, like when you export all the videos of OGP, do you watch them? Do you watch all of them?
No, I only watch like the IG reel,
which is also portrait.
Is it
wonky? Does it wobble a bit?
I don't think I could see it. But okay, I admit I didn't watch the IG fully. So maybe the parts that because I kind of like click at like random moments, because you know. So maybe those random so maybe those random moments I didn't see.
Well, I mean, I don't blame you. I don't do that sometimes also, but I am well versed enough in Premiere to know what can do what lah. But never mind, next time then you slowly learn from there. But I guess now that you are returning me back everything, I have to check later lor. How does it feel though when I ask you to bring everything back today?
I just thought like, okay,
like do you feel like insecure in any way?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I just feel like a weight has been lifted, because I know for the next 2 weeks I don't have to touch.
You don't have to touch anything lah.
I don't have to do any work. So. But
that's the point, because I wanted to have everything back, including the camera, so that I can reset everything. Not the settings per se, but mainly I want to time sync everything. Because I realized that at least one of the cameras is not time synced properly. So at least I can do that now. I can reset all the... I might even have time to send all 3 cameras to Sony maintenance, just to do some internal cleaning to start for the new year. The laptop as well, just to resync up all the graphic files and stuff like that, which is not fun to do lah. But something that I have to do since we're gonna start the new year next year. But one of the days when I meet you, then I'll pass you back everything lor. Which would not be a lot for you to carry also lah. Granted. Okay. About my year, I think nothing. I mean, like I said, nothing too bad. 70 to 75% good, 20 to 25% bad. Right? But bad also not really bad. I mean, there is one notable moment that happened in my head. That is still very fresh, which is when we had to leave the office. I won't go into details, but it's not like we were kicked out or anything lah. We were very, very politely asked to vacate because they needed the space back for their own stuff. But no matter how, it just doesn't feel good. Yeah, so I was in a bit of an emotional turmoil for a while. Then it was quite weird because I think on the day when the news was broke to me, right, I had to leave for shoot like 1 or 2 hours later. And then I actually wasn't dealing with it very well. I kind of like was at the stage where I didn't know how to handle it emotionally. So I was still in a state of like a bit confused. You know, I knew it didn't feel good, but I wasn't at the point of upset, angry, or sad. So it was just very confusing, and I didn't even I didn't have the space to process my emotions because I knew I was going for shoot, and I have to be in the right mindset for shoot, especially if I'm dealing with clients. Yeah, so I called 2 people. I called Lina to maybe to tell her what happened and to see if she can console me, or to like make me feel a bit better lah. But she was busy with work, so then I called you because after all, these 2 people, like having this news and telling you and Lina were the most relevant already, right? Because you would be directly affected, ma. I forgot what you said, but I recalled you were quite calm and consoling about it. Like you made me feel better after the phone call, and I think that was nice because for the whole year, like I think you know also that you're my first full-time employee. I've had interns before, but like they were only here for like 1 or 2 months, 2 or 3 months kind of thing. Not long enough for me to impart a lot of knowledge to them. Not long enough for me to really, I can say, can become friends. You know? So you were my first employee, and I didn't know. I mean, I was learning as I was going along. Like you were learning how to be an employee, I was learning how to be an employer. So every day, whenever you ask me something new, or when something new happened, it was my chance to learn how to get it right as well. Except that I feel that it was a bit tougher for me because it's harder for me to make mistakes in terms of dealing with an employee. You know what I mean? I mean, next time if we do hire a third person and that person's under you, you probably would have the same feeling lah, or not as intense but same lah. You know, so I've always had this kind of unspoken burden on my shoulders that I need to be the more caring one for Zack. You know, I need to be there for him more. But then end up for that one case, you were the one that was able to make me feel better. And it just felt nice. I just felt that for once I didn't feel that burden on my shoulders that heavily. So that was very nice, and I never really had a chance to thank you for that. Yeah. So aside from that, I think nothing else notable really happened. I feel that next year will be a bit tough for us. Might be.
Tough how?
Well, I'm sure you know that I mean, now as we are shooting this in December, I'm sure you know that 1 or 2 weeks ago, I think 1 week ago, 23rd, 15th, 8 days ago, I've officially released my new price list to my clients, which I think you know for a while now that I've been adjusting a new price list for the new year to increase the rates. We even came to my house and do a video just to, you know, thank the clients and whatnot. And on 15 December is when I officially released the new rates and sent all of them the video. And while the response has been actually quite good, I do expect some clients to drop off.
Yeah. Am I allowed to ask, like, who has anyone already, like, we don't want anymore? Has anyone said that?
No lah. Nobody will say that one. Nobody will say that to your face that, no, we don't want anymore. That's too high. Those who do say that are extremely childish. Don't know how to be professional, and yeah lor. Most people won't come at you with a confrontation one lah, and that's already quite confrontational. I think the most I've had was, then we probably can't use as much because it's not within our budget. Well, I mean, they still said that they can use it, but there's not as much. Yeah. And weirdly enough, this is coming from a client that I didn't think would say that. Yeah.
I don't think I'm allowed to ask who it is.
No,
right?
I won't tell you now also.
No,
not while it's recording.
No, I was recording, okay.
Yeah. Later after recording, I can tell you who lah. But yet, on the other hand, there are some clients that I didn't think would go for it, actually just purchase a new package from me. Right? Because I mean, I gave them like the last 2 weeks, like the final 2-3 weeks of the year to lock in whatever purchase that they want of my old rates, ma. And quite a good response lah so far, I would say. It's quite nice. Yeah. I mean, there are a few clients that I will gladly name that are super supportive. People like Anna,
Oh, okay.
super supportive. People like
Okay.
Michael, super supportive.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But Michael funny lah. When he texted me and say, "Hey bro, sure support you, bro." Then after that, he asked me to give him a few days because he said, and to quote his words, he needs to launder some money first. Which obviously he's joking,
I know he's joking. Yeah.
right? But I think he's very busy also.
Yeah, I haven't edited a video for him for.
He hasn't done videos in a while because ever since his kid was born, I think his time is even tighter now.
Oh.
He might not have the luxury of time to do videos anymore.
Oh, Michael, if you're watching this, congratulations.
I gave him a gift.
Nice.
Yeah. Then the funny thing, right, is when he said that he needed to launder money, I actually went to Google and just search for some random Chinese spa place, and I sent to him. I sent him the address and I say, "This is a good place to launder." Then he, okay, I got it. I mean, it was obviously a joke also lah.
Yeah, of course.
But I think that's what I like working about him. Like, we can joke about this kind of thing and get on the same weird level almost immediately. Like a few clients like that are super supportive lah. Right. But it's taken me a long time to think about whether should I even raise my rates or not. Because for one, I started to have these thoughts, okay, when a competitor reached out and said that they got a hold of our price list and it's way too low. It's so much so that it's spoiling market. Having your friends say that to you, which I have, right? Like even my own girlfriends say it to me, saying that what, like, the quality of service that we're providing, we're charging way too low. Even other industry friends, people like Jaden, also tell me that he thinks that I'm charging too low, right? But to have a competitor reach out and tell you to your face that you are spoiling market, it's very embarrassing. But that's when it got the wheels churning lah, right? I'm someone that I also don't dare to just raise the rates overnight. I feel like I need a reason to. You know, the last time I actually increased my rates was circuit breaker. Like right after the 2 months of circuit breaker, then I'm like, okay, now Singapore has reopened, then my rates are increasing because demand will be high. Yeah, and then now I'm raising it again after like what, 2 years? Is it 2 years?
Yeah,
Circuit breaker was 2020, right?
2020.
Yeah, 2 years. Then I raised again. I don't think that's unreasonable lah. But I am raising it to more or less market rate. So after having a competitor reach out to me and point out and use the word spoil market, right, it's actually a very embarrassing thing. And it got the gears churning. So I'm just using the end of year, start of the new year as a reason to justify my price increase. But it's tough lah. Because you would then have to worry about a lot of things, like would I lose clients, would I lose friends, clients that turn friends, you know. I mean, I guess that's the main worry. Then you start to worry like then what if clients ask this, ask that, then how am I going to answer? What about stuff like expiry date or whatever? All these are very difficult to answer. You can lah, but it's very difficult to explain to them one by one. But I guess that's part of the service, right? And it's just really, really hard to do this price increment thing. But I think having these few weeks to think about it, I feel like I've finally managed my mindset in thinking that this is a good chance to filter out the cheap clients. The clients who are only with us, with me, because we are offering cheap services and not because we produce good work. And ultimately, as creatives, whether our creative work is technical or not, it is still creative, right? We are still in the creative industry. If our clients don't enjoy our work, I don't think we want them either. I genuinely like hearing when my clients tell me that, hey Andric, I like your work. I like the way you edit. I like the way you shoot. I like that you guide us. Because these are things that are non-tangible, that are unique to each person. Yeah, so I do feel that creative pride in me when I hear that. Yeah, I think I don't want to go too deep into to keep going on about the whole price thing lah. But yeah, I think that's the two major things that happened this year.
I would say when you had that, obviously I'm not gonna ask who's the competitor, but if you're gonna that competitor that say, oh, you spoil market, I don't know about you, but for me personally, I understand why you say the word embarrassed, but I kind of would feel a little good. It's like, because it's a competitor. I know you don't want to how to say, make enemies in this business, but it's like, it's really like small market. Because I mean, of course, I'm going by my memories of my memories of spoiling market was back in poly when mine was I increased the thing where where we had to do presentation, and then everyone had to wear formal wear, just like a button up shirt, and some were just wore black jeans, or some had actual trousers,
Smart casual.
yeah, right. And I had a suit made because I had to, not for the presentation, obviously I had to go for a wedding, so I had a suit made for a wedding, so I had it, so I decided to use it because I figured, it's a presentation, try and plus it was the year end presentation, so it was very important. I didn't do this for every presentation, just for one, which was the year end presentation, the most important presentation, so I did that. And then when I wore the suit, and then everyone was just like, wow, Zachary, you spoil market. I don't know, I kind of felt a little...
Yeah, that's because you are spoiling market upwards. Mine was... they are saying that I'm spoiling market downwards. I'm bringing down the market. So that one doesn't feel good. But I guess that I mean, there is always an extreme to each end of the spectrums, right? I mean, you've been doing real estate editing for a year. I'm sure you have picked up on some articles here and there. I don't know if you read the news. Do you read the news?
Not real estate news.
No, do you read the news in general? Do you have Telegram?
Yes.
Do you subscribe to
No.
Telegram groups like CNA or whatever?
No.
Or even Mothership?
No.
So you don't even see Mothership at all?
The only
not even on Instagram or Facebook?
No, I go on I go on Google News, or I don't know I don't think it's Yahoo, but it's some other news. The ones that Android just gives me.
You really should though. I mean, you should go onto Telegram and follow these groups like CNA or Mothership or whatever, just to know about current news firsthand. It's not a bad thing. And if you follow these news, you will actually know that this year there have been more property articles than ever, and majority of it is this HDB 5-room broke new record, sold at $2 million, kind of nonsense
Okay,
that.
those I have read.
Yeah, that one is also spoil market, but spoiling it upwards where people don't like also. Because then you make everyone around the area feel like, wow, if the unit can sell for 2 mil, I also want to sell 2 mil. Then it makes everyone's job very difficult. Especially for my agents which I think I can do a full episode of me ranting about how bad I feel for my agents because of how emboldened buyers and sellers are this period of time. There's just no more respect. I feel there's no more little to no more respect for most agents, because buyers and sellers would be like, oh, if you don't do what I want, then I find somebody else, kind of thing. They are also professionals. They are like us in a way. We took so much time to learn and practice and perfect our skill, our craft. So do they, even though it's not in the creative line, but they spend all their life studying the real estate market, and only to have some not all, some buyers, sellers, or even tenants treat them like dirt, which I really cannot stand. When you go for more shoots next year and you meet more agents and then you make small talk with them, right, you will learn all this. They will share all this with you. Over time, you will start feeling bad for them. I'm not saying that they share all this so that I'll feel bad for them, but it just comes naturally because you kind of feel like wow, like okay, just imagine lah, okay. For example, this is not actually true. For example, Anna, right? She pays us this amount of money out of her own pocket just to do a home tour video, right? It might not be very little, it might not be a lot, but it's still some money, right? And then she goes and do the shoot, and then you reach there with her, and then the seller is just being very rude to her, treats her with no respect, says that oh, you only got 1 hour, don't touch anything. Like already making her life so difficult, and yet still expects us to produce a top quality Lim Brother style video. And then in the end, even when it's done, right, and then she posts the video online and we rush it out for her, if let's say she makes a request, say, hey Andric, Zack, this video is very urgent because you've seen how the seller is like, I want to impress him. He didn't sign for me exclusive, which is already red flag number 1. And then can y'all do me a favor, get the video out in maybe half the time that you usually do, then I can post it online, I can get him some potential viewers. At least he sees that our marketing efforts are working, right? Then only when she does all this, only to find out that the seller is behind her back also employing other agents to do this, and in the end choose to drop her, maybe because another agent is bringing in a bit more buyers or more viewers. And then when you learn all this, right, how would you feel that she spent all this money and all this effort and all this time doing all this for this one person, and it's not even appreciated? I hear so many stories like this almost every day. Well, not almost every day, like, no, I'll be damn fucking depressed, but quite often, at least once or twice a month. That's not every day. Yeah, it's still quite depressing to hear this kind of thing happening to your own agents, to your own clients. I would say some even turn friends, that you meet them on such a regular basis. It's very heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking to see this happening to them. But yeah, that has just all this is just to gear you up for next year lah. Next year I will send you to more shoots with agents, but I mean those that are already familiar with you, people like maybe Nabil, like Roy, where you already know what kind of shoots that they want to do.
Actually, I don't think I've ever been on a Nabil and Roy shoot, though.
You have what?
No.
Yes, you have.
What's the Nabil and Roy shoot?
691 Jurong.
691.
The Malay household.
Okay, but that was just Nabil. But then that was him sitting down.
Yeah.
It's a little different from the usual.
Yeah, but then the standard home tour, you will also know how to do it.
Maybe they have like a specific way of movement. Like they want you to move a specific way. I don't know.
If it is, I'll tell you beforehand. Like, I'll brief you beforehand. But the whole point of this year was to send you, was to bring you on shoots with me once in a while, so that shooting B-roll becomes muscle memory, not something that you need to like, shit, like what angle should I do, how high, how low should I go, so that it becomes muscle memory, so that your brain can shut off, tune out for a while you're doing that, but still knowing that you got the shots that we need. Do you feel that you're there yet? That you can tune out?
No. I mean, I still have to pay attention to make sure like things are focused. Things are on focus. The angle is okay. So no, I don't think so.
I mean, when I do shoots like that, I also pay attention. Just that my attention is minimal. It's enough that I can still let part of my brain rest. That's what I mean by tuning out and having muscle memory take over.
I don't know if I can tell yet. I don't think I can tell. If I am at that stage, to be honest.
Okay. Oh yeah, I want to complain about a ridiculous request that I received just a few days ago. Again,
so now welcome to the actual discontent.
So again, I won't mention this agent's name. I'll try not to include the gender as well, but I think as I go on about the story, you would roughly guess who, but don't say it out.
Oh, so it's a person I have met.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or at the very least, you have edited the video before.
How about you try like a gender neutral name? We can try that, and then
A gender neutral name?
Yeah. Ashley. Ashley is a gender neutral name.
No.
Yeah.
No, actually,
Yeah,
no.
there are guys named Ashley.
I've never heard before.
I-
Sam.
Okay, Sam, sure.
Okay, so Sam has a booking with me next year,
Okay.
right? Like, and okay, Sam, right? And I'll use they as a pronoun.
Okay.
Okay, so Sam already made a booking with me next year, right? Within the first 2 weeks of the year, and they booked 2 slots.
For one day?
Yeah, so like right now, one day I got three empty slots, right?
Yeah.
Like morning, then afternoon, then late afternoon, right? And leaving 1 hour in between for me to travel. But they have booked 2 slots because they're doing 2 different units,
Okay.
right? But then Sam recently texted me again saying that they want to try squeezing in 2 more units. So doing 4 under the time span of 2 slots, which is, I can say 11 to 1, then 1 to 2, then 2 to 4. So 11 to 4, that's 5 hours. 5 hours lah.
Okay.
Right? 5 hours, honestly, right? I do 3, I already a bit question myself already. Doing 3 home tours in 5 hours means you have 0 time for lunch. You have no time. You almost have no time for travel, and whichever agent that is doing it, their lines must be perfect. Which means do 2-3 takes per line per scene. They got it already, and this agent, they do not have the best track record of having perfect lines. They take very long for one scene, very very long. And they like to do it at least twice.
So, being that I have met them before.
Don't try and guess who it is. Just intake the story first.
Okay.
Okay? So, in a span of 5 hours, doing 3 home tours is already a bit tough. Right? Even someone of my caliber where I can roll through B-rolls, no pun intended, really quickly. But it's still going to be very tough because the voiceover segment is going to take very long. The on-camera segment is going to take very long. And then, not to mention weather, but weather is not really a factor in this story right now. But it's not. It's not 3 home tours. The 2 slots taken were for testimonial videos. So 2 different testimonial videos. Yeah. Okay. So imagine the setup I must bring already for testimonial, which is all this, like in fact 2 cameras, 2 tripods, and then like it's a whole different thing to shoot. And then the other 2 that this agent want to add in is 1 home tour and 1 more testimonial, all at different locations. So imagine the setup. Setup alone is not possible already. Then I'm like, really, you really want to squeeze me under like that? Then I was thinking for a while, how do I reply this agent? Because this agent likes to make this kind of request to me. Cannot just stick by the schedule, and so, but again, because this agent is a client, and I don't want to disappoint them, because somewhere down the line of me having my own career, I learned that outright saying no might not always be the best answer, even though if you really cannot do it. You must find a different way to say no, so that it doesn't hurt the client's ego or pride or something. I don't know what lah. But it just feels nicer, to not have someone shove no to your face. Right? Especially if you're a paying client.
There's always corporate. There's a corporate language, right? So you just gotta learn. You guys gotta find out what that corporate language is. There's a corporate way of saying anything.
Yeah. So I was thinking of the most corporate way to say it, like to reject this agent, while also trying to get my point across. Because this agent booked the first 2 slots of the day. The last slot I got something else with another agent. So that one I cannot reschedule already. So in the end, my answer to this agent is sure. We will use the first 2 shoots as priority for the day because the one is already booked. The other 2 shoots, I leave it to you what you want to tell your client, your seller. But I'm not promising anything. If we have time, we go. But keep in mind that I will leave on the dot at 4. So imagine if we are doing the testimonial home tour shoot halfway, and for whatever reason it's not completed in time, and 4 o'clock hits, I will pack up and go. No matter what. And I would urge you to rethink, because it doesn't look good on either of us if I do that. And I will do that. Because I cannot be late for the next one. It's not fair. Because I am I told this agent that this is now my way of telling you, of giving you that prerequisite warning that it cannot be done. But if you don't accept it, then okay lor, then you take that risk lor. Yeah. But if let's say we really go through with it lah, right? We clear the first 2 testimonials that fast, and we try to do at least one more, right? And reach 4 o'clock and it's not done, and I leave. I told the agent, if I come back again, I will charge another credit. It's only fair, what? Because don't say I never give you warning. In fact, I already told this agent that I don't think we should squeeze. Just stick to having that 2 shoots for the 2 days. For that two slots can already. Yeah. But this agent might not want to listen lah. So we see how lor. I'll tell you when the day comes. Might or might not need you to be there.
Great.
But I might be able to say that it's not a client that you enjoy working with, I think.
Yeah.
You more or less can guess already.
I more or less know who it is, but I'm you can tell me who they are later just to confirm.
Sure.
But I know who it is. And I don't hate working with them, but
I don't hate it either.
you know,
I don't hate it either. Just that this agent likes to throw me curveballs all the time.
I know. They are not like mean or anything.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not in the least. Like, communicating with them in person is a joy. Like when we are there for shoot, I genuinely like shooting with them. Because we do have many funny moments.
Yeah.
And it's fun like they will throw us jokes, we'll throw them jokes.
No, I've seen it.
Yeah, so it's funny. It's very fun. It's just that also knowing that because they like to do 2-3 shoots a day, at least 2 shoots a day sometimes, it takes a lot out of me. Like it really drains my social battery to beyond depletion. To like beyond 0, and then like near the end of the show, I'm just so tired already, and I'm like still racing with the sunset. We still have a lot of things haven't shoot, or maybe like a good 15% haven't shoot finish, and then 50% is not all me, like it's all the talking shots where yes, I have to get my shot right, but it's more dependent on the agent whether they can get the scene right or not. So that one just drains a lot of me sometimes. Yeah, but no lah, they have never been like this agent has never been mean to me. Yeah, just that and I feel that they have never really made unreasonable, well, not requests but demands. They have never made unreasonable demands. Just some difficult to say no to requests. You know, but maybe that's me. You know, like you know, I do have a friend called Basil who's also in video production, and seeing how he works, if the client asks for something unreasonable, he will say no, and it won't even be a yes, but it will just be a no, we can't do that. And I think that's why he don't really face the issues that I face. I find it very hard to say no to my clients. I mean, unless what they're asking for is unreasonable lah. Yeah. But yeah, that's just the one thing that I'm like, oh shit. But anyway, we'll see when it comes. I do want to ask you though, like for most of the year you've been doing editing, right? So you're not really client facing, but clients communicate to you through Frame.io. Is there any notable like change requests that you feel that is like up there in the unreasonable or like what the fuck kind of thing?
Oh, oh my goodness. I know there was definitely a few, but the problem is that I didn't think this question would come up, so I don't remember any. I know there's been a few. I actually think some of Sam's is a bit frustrating. because
Ah.
they are testimonial ones. Some of Sam's testimonials.
Okay.
Because they can ask me to change. Like I do a lot of like not so much the graphs but like the graphics of it, right? And then I'm like, okay, for each part.
The testimonial or
Yeah.
educational?
Oh, sorry, educational. Sorry, not testimonial, educational, right? So I do the educational, and then
Yeah.
I add the graphics. Maybe they talk about a specific developer or a specific condo, right? So condo A, condo B, condo C, and I do. It's pretty much the same for A, B, C, but it's already a set. I've already established that this is the set. But then they asked me to completely in their draft 2, they asked me to completely change it.
Like to overhaul the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But even if it's not them, okay, so for this particular case, right, even if it's not them, somebody else will do it. I mean, we've edited like, well, I guess I have to use another name than Z, right? Like even when we edit him and his team's educational videos, it's about the same one. Like usually graphic heavy videos, we have to overhaul the whole thing if a client makes a change request, which is very tough because educational videos, right, the client the agent just sits there and just talk. There's very little visuals other than the talking heads of the agent and whatever graphics and design style we choose to go with the graphics. So design is very subjective to us. Usually, if any of our clients are watching this, usually if we do some videos for you, right, usually the first draft is what we as professionals think looks the best. We will give you the best on the first draft already. But then everything else after that is either we work together to make it better, or you fully just give us your comments and then we change to your comments, and then it just either maintains or goes downhill from there. Very seldom to be honest, really in my statistics, very seldom that if I let the client take over the entire design process, very seldom it looks better than what we originally designed. Because come on, we do this every day. Every day all we do is deciding which words go to which part of the frame, what font it should be, what color it should be, what thickness it should be, which area exactly it should be. Should it have a drop shadow? Should it have a background? What color it should be? What should it be paired with? What graphic what other animated graphics should go with this text graphic? Little things like that, we make these decisions every single day for so many videos. Have you kept count of how many videos you have done for the whole year?
No, of course not. There's so many. I write down in my notebook like the clients, like mostly for the animation part. But I know that I've missed out on some clients because those are mostly for home tours. Like I'd say like 99.9% of the names that I've written are for home tours. Only like 0.1% is for another type of video.
Yeah lah. How many home tours do you think you've done?
Hundreds. I say hundreds.
100?
Hundreds. Because we're going by how many pages of that notebook I've used. Because remember, I have 2 now. I've done so many and I had to get a second one. So...
You think it has passed 200?
Yeah, yes.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
Yes, I think so.
I mean, it's fairly easy to count, right? Well, not count, but estimate. At what point in the year, like which month of the year, do you feel like you started to do 2 a day?
Late September.
So for the first 8 months, it's all mostly 1 a day, right?
Yeah.
Then barring weekends, weekdays, that's 20 weekdays per month. For times 8 lor. 160. At least. So from January, doing 1 a day, until August, end of August, doing 1 a day is about 160 videos already. 160 home tours. Plus minus lah.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit lesser, maybe a bit more, who knows, but it's around that number. And then September, October, November, December, 4 months, 2 a day, that's 20 times 2, 40 times 4, that's another 160, about 300 plus already.
If we're talking about just home tours,
Yeah, but again, that's assuming that we have at least one home tour every day lah. Sometimes we don't have. Sometimes
No,
it's
definitely
it's just educational. Sometimes it's events. Sometimes it's there's no work. You know.
Sometimes, because I know there's been like a few times where I've had to use 2 videos. I had to do use 2 days for one video because that video was just so long. It was like a.
Do you do John's Park Olympia video?
No, you did.
All right. Yeah.
You did. No, I'm talking about Sean. You remember Sean?
Sean Tan Verticals ah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. That one quite unique. It's a unique spin on the sort of home/project tour. Not the typical, I would say, professional style.
Yeah.
Because Sean likes to infuse a lot of comedy and memes into his stuff and jokes and little nuances. Like, and the thing is, his jokes are the if you get it, you get it kind of thing, which is tough because it's not slapstick comedy, which sadly to say most Singaporeans can only recognize. Yeah. I mean, you go any more than that, like dark humor or puns, they can't really recognize. You know, I've tried. I like out of all my clients, Anna is a real friend, and I do hang out with her, 1-to-1 even, on like I guess social calls. Wait, that sounds very weird. On social outings. Like, okay. I do go and have lunch with her and we don't talk about work at all. Right? And while being very nice, right, she doesn't get puns. Puns fly over her head.
Some people are like that. Yeah.
Which I'm so sad because puns is also one of my favorite ways of humor. I'm not very good at it, not to your level, but I can do some. But it's just
don't I know she's met me before, but don't reintroduce me to her. Every joke I say will go over her head.
Yeah, it just goes over here. I'm so sad. Like, if I do slapstick comedy with her, then yeah, she'll find it funny. Or if I do insult comedy, she does find it very funny.
What, like?
Like, I mean, I don't insult her lah. But
but like it's like what, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of an example now. Also, I think insult comedy has to come naturally.
You only have 2 brain cells, and they're both fighting for 3rd place. So.
That one will go over head.
Really, that one also.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's an insult though. Like that's.
It is, but I think for her, what works is, it needs to be an insult on someone that she knows and doesn't like.
What? So and so's got a face like a frying pan. I don't know. Like. Something.
Sure. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Then she'll be like, "Oh, you're so bad," but then she'll laugh damn loud. She's quite funny lah. She's genuinely a friend.
So it's not really jokes. It's just being cheeky, I guess.
Just being gossipy lor. Just being a bit gossipy and like. No, it's being snarky behind someone's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. I feel like I've gotten all of my work complaints out. I don't have anything else to add.
That was only like 1, right?
Yeah, that was the biggest one. No?
Oh, I thought you had like 3.
3?
Yeah, I thought you had like 3.
No,
now that's just my expectations. So
why 3? Like top 3? Yeah.
No, but actually, yeah, in a way, it's like top 3. But I feel like 3 was the magic number.
3 I don't know if I have 3 Let me think. Why don't you tell me something first? Then what I think about the other 1 or 2.
Do you know what I want to say? Is that I am happy that we have our control over our own. Well, we'll try to have our control of our own podcast now, because I genuinely do want to like talk about shows that previously I wasn't able to talk about. Specifically, I'd love to talk about The Mandalorian. I finally watched it this year. I know I'm late. Please don't.
You haven't fucking even finished Obi-Wan yet. I bet you haven't even finished the last episode yet.
Yes, I haven't. I admit.
You won't finish it by the end of the year. You want to take that back with me?
I kind of do now, actually.
Yeah,
because I will go back home immediately after this, and then I will watch it.
Yeah, even now when you no longer have the laptop with you after tonight, I'm pretty sure you still won't watch it. You'll find something else to do. We'll see y'all. But now that
I might do it out of spite. I might just do it out of pure spite. But it works. It works.
Yeah, but now that I challenge you like that, you surely will go and watch because you don't want to lose, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if we don't bet anything, you are someone that don't like losing. So maybe this is the way I like. This is one of the methods that I can do to motivate you in the future. I don't know.
This is a psychological trick. If you know me enough, you can do that. But obviously, sometimes I do it with my friends. Just ironically, like when my friend is playing a game and he's like the only survivor. You know, like Call of Duty Warzone, and he's like the only survivor, and then he's in a 1 versus 4, and then I'll be like, yo, go ahead, don't hide, kill them, you won't. And he's just like, oh yeah, okay, I'll go kill them. I mean, and we know he knows I'm joking about it. He actually doesn't really expect me to do it, but I say it to him just to poke fun.
Okay. Let me ask you this question then.
Okay.
Let's get away from the work talk for a while.
Yeah, okay.
Let's end the episode. I mean, if we are ending, so I'm not sure. We'll see how. If we're ending, so let's end it on a slightly happier note. What is the one movie that did it for you this year?
Wow. I didn't even watch a lot of movies this year though.
Doesn't matter. Even if you watch 2, choose one.
What was the movies that I watched this year?
Whatever comes to your head lah. I mean, we have such an impromptu question. Whatever floats up to your head likely is the answer. And even if it's not, you can always change it in the next episode.
Well, I guess I have to say, like, if we're talking about just like movies that come to my head immediately, I would just have to say The Batman. Because it's not so much the movie itself, but it's because of the events that surrounded the movie. I got to be on the other podcast, for the first time.
Sure.
This was the first time it was like our group outing. That at least I was involved in. And only time.
Wait.
No, that's not true. We went for Ultraman.
Yeah, we also went for a dinner together after NDP.
Yes, yeah, that was it.
But like movie outings lah, that was the first one.
Yeah. So that was the one. I can't think of another one yet, mostly because I guess none of them really had that big of an impact on me. So I guess that's the one, just because not so much the movie itself, but the events surrounding the movie as well. And plus also, like, I was excited for the Batman. I just because it's Batman. It's Batman.
Let me think if I have one. I can't think of it now, because right now also the first one that floats up to my head is the Batman. I think that to me probably was the biggest movie of the year.
I'm actually gonna search up like movies that came out this year and let me see.
Okay, let me tell you what was the worst one I watched.
Okay.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, okay. I
hate that so much.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Our Girls Go Army.
Well, I did kind of watch it. Wait, did I watch it this year?
Yeah, I think so.
No leh. Wait, I went to Bangkok this year, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I only knew you this year, so
I watched it on the plane.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I mean, if you have to say that, I guess that one lah. But that aside, international movies, I would say Thor: Love and Thunder.
I can understand why.
You watched it already?
Haven't yet, but I
jeez.
know I've seen some scenes, and I like one scene already. I know, like, oh my god, I know exactly what.
No,
movie
go
I'm
watch
expecting. I know, I will.
Go watch it.
Cause here's one of those movies that I actually think is really good. Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's
good.
another one that I feel.
But not my first.
That's not your first.
Mm.
I think that one might be my first.
Wait, was No Way Home this year?
No,
that was
December
last year.
It was December last year. It just squeezed.
But the one is like fan service lah. It's not really like solid story writing also.
It's decent story writing. Decent.
Was it?
I liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still think it's the best one.
I mean, it was smart enough to wrap up all the stories, not just Tom Holland's. It was smart enough to do that, but I don't know if you can like remove the superhero element. I don't know if you can count it as a good movie or not. But we'll see. So I guess in this case my best would be Batman, the worst would be Thor. Which, funnily enough, both are superhero films. No. Sorry, I want to change that. I have a new contender for my worst movie.
I'm interested.
Black Adam.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, please. The only reason why I'm saying this is because it's kind of mixed. That's why. So I don't want to anger the other. Ladies and gentlemen, I have not seen Black Adam. I have not come to a conclusion. Please,
It's so bad.
So please.
It's really so
spare me.
bad. like Dwayne Johnson has been teeing up this movie for like what 5 to 10 years now, and that's what we got. Really, I haven't watched Avatar yet. I don't know if I will or not. I might just wait for it to be released on Disney and I'll just watch it on Disney Plus. But I don't know if it's worth watching in the theaters. Maybe it is just for the visuals, but I'm a bit afraid for the storyline. But I'm afraid of going in and it'll be like, really, we waited 10 over years just for this.
In my personal opinion, I probably would go, but I will always go. I already know that. Oh my goodness! It really has been more than 10 years since the movie came out. The movie came out in 2009. 13 years.
13 years.
13 years. So I already accept the fact that it will never. Nothing will be good enough. After 13 years, nothing will be. It will never be good enough. Like, you know. So
I feel that it's only good back then is because of what it was able to achieve 13 years ago. But 13 years later, with so many other movies that were able to kept up with technology, it is not special anymore. It is the syndrome effect. When everyone's super, no one is. Right? 13 years ago when Avatar came out, it was the first of its kind to be so mesmerizing and so realistic despite having 95% of it be CGI. Right? But then 13 years later, when so many other shows that have found ways to use that technology and bend it to what they want to do, i.e. Mandalorian, you know, like having them to build the volume and taking filmmaking to new grounds, things like that, it's just not special anymore. I've actually like watched/heard some reviews on YouTube on the new movie, and I think the funniest thing I've heard was like, you know, when you go into like Best Denki or Harvey Norman and then you see those display TV on sale.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's always just some random B-roll, super crisp
Raindrops.
Right.
Raindrops, crayons.
So that, but it's 2.5 hours long. And I've even seen someone rant on TikTok that how almost every scene, it starts off with 30 seconds of B-roll of white shots, and then a few seconds of dialogue, and then goes back to B-roll and white shots and beauty shots and establishing shots. Which I don't know how exaggerated that is, but I guess I'll find out lah. What is one unique movie that you watched this year? For me, that is Shin Ultraman. That was a unique experience for me.
Why unique?
I think purely from a filmmaking standpoint, like the entire run of Shin Ultraman doesn't have a lot of action scenes, right? There is, but not a lot. Majority of it was a lot of bureaucratic scenes of them talking, like an official will talk to an executive, which will talk to the government, blah 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 blah. But whenever they do scenes like that, they found so many angles in one room. If you recall.
Oh no, I definitely recall. In my opinion, I think they switched too many times. Like they switched angles too many times.
It's definitely not traditional filmmaking for sure. But I think that was what was intriguing about it to me. Like as someone that uses cameras, it's something that you can't help but notice. Like after one line, it's a change of an angle. After one line, change of an angle. I mean, in one scene, they can have 2-3 pages of dialogue, right? But imagine having to find a new angle every line of dialogue. Imagine being on set doing that. That must have been so fucking tough. But the end result would have been so good. At least that's what I enjoyed lah. To me, that was a unique experience. And it made me rethink about, I guess, filmmaking. Like, can I do something like that? Would it make sense? You?
Strangely enough, it's not a movie. It's a film, but it's a short film, and it's on YouTube. Actually, I don't even know if it's released this year, but I saw it this year. It's a horror film, a horror short film.
Since when do you watch horror?
Well, I mean, I dabble. I've watched some.
Like?
Babadook.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I willingly wanted to watch Babadook because I heard in reviews like how good it was, and I watched it. I was scared, but I liked it,
Mm.
and I recommended it to my friends.
Mm.
That's pretty much the only horror film I've ever watched, I think.
I tell you, if one day you really start going into horror films, we can do a horror episode because I love horror films. I fucking love horror films, but let's not go there first. Tell me about your unique experience, like your unique movie this year.
Okay, I genuinely forget the premise, but I can guarantee I know what the premise is.
Hmm.
Okay, this couple gets a box, and there's like rules of the box where it's like the box. They open up the box and it's like a black void.
So wait, is it the one where the hand comes out?
Well, it's not just the hand, right? It's
Yeah
a
lah,
whole,
I mean-
it's a whole guy.
Like he slowly comes out
Yeah.
of the box, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I really like that one.
That was not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that one because I liked how it very quickly established the rules and created very simple but effective horror with the rules.
I think horror films work best as short films there.
You're not wrong. You could.
It works best as short
You could
films.
argue that. Yeah.
If it's too long drawn, right, and especially if it has a franchise looking at you, Annabelle, that's so bad. It's so freaking bad. It's just not scary anymore because you already know how the freaking ghost looks like.
Do you know when was the moment that I realized that the Annabelle the Annabelle and Conjuring franchise is dead? I mean, like not that dead as like they stop making movies. They still make movies, but they are just there's no credibility in my opinion anymore.
Straight to video release, lor.
No, for me it was the La Llorona, that one, the Mexican or Spanish ghost one,
Right.
cause
Yeah,
that was
but is that in the same world?
yes, that's like a spin-off.
Ah, the one is a B movie lah.
It still shares the name. It's like what's that? I was thinking of Buzz Lightyear, but I know that's not. I know it's not. But I forgot the name. But that's when I knew like okay, it's no longer a respectable franchise.
It's not.
It's no longer
really
a respectable franchise. Probably like the first like 3 movies was okay. It was respectable, at least like okay, sure. But after that, no more. Like
I
stop.
can't even remember the first movie.
It was technically the Conjuring one.
Yeah, but I can't remember what was it about.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
Annabelle was a spin-off from Conjuring.
It was a prequel, I think.
No,
No,
it was a spin-off.
but it's about the doll that was in the Conjuring house, right?
It just happens to have the doll. So, okay, from what I recall, the Conjuring series had a little so the Conjuring series was about I think it was about the ghost who was the nun or something like that.
No, that's Conjuring 2, I think.
Yeah, but then Conjuring 1 was not about the doll. But because the Conjuring series have always been about the ghost hunter siblings, right? I forgot their names now.
No, it's husband and wife.
Right, husband and wife. Yeah, that one. Lorraine and Warren something.
I don't know. I know. Yeah, that's all I know about.
Yeah, but it's by the husband. It's by the very famous pair of husband and wife, and all 3 stories are different. And then the first story had a bit of Annabelle because they wanted to talk about, like they had a little small like side story that it was a flashback about what happened with the Annabelle doll, and why is it in their basement now. So from that, it made its own spin-off.
So, okay. I have to take your word for it. I have no idea. I'm not a fan of the series anyways.
There's still one horror movie that I don't dare to watch it.
What?
Hereditary.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's on my list. I was planning on watching that.
I don't dare to watch it. I've seen it. It freaked me out. And I'm someone that can handle gore. But that one is just freaky lah. It has the right elements of horror that will scare me enough to not want to watch it. Do you like movies from M. Night Shyamalan?
Honestly, no. I was excited for Old, but when I heard the reviews, I decided not to watch it. Because I actually want a good movie from M. Night Shyamalan. Unfortunately, I got spoiled on The Visit and Split, so I decided not to watch them. Because I got spoiled on what the twist was.
Oh, The Visit was good though.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
No, I think you don't have to watch Split, but you should still watch The Visit just for how they built the story and how they built the tension.
The one thing is, I didn't really care for the whole found footage style again. That's the thing. I used to like found footage style. I like found footage
it's
style when
overdone.
I like found footage style when it's not used in horror. I like it when it's used in other things.
I know, right?
Yeah.
The only found footage movie that I like was I can't remember what is the show called, but it's about a bunch of teen boys who discovered that they got superpowers.
That's the first found footage movie I've ever watched, and that's the one that I'm talking about, Chronicle.
That's
one of my favorite found footage films ever.
Yeah. If I'm not wrong, the very first or one of the first found footage films was a horror film, and it was the Blair Witch Project.
Well, yeah.
If I'm not wrong. But then the one is just like, at the end, it builds tension, it builds horror, but you don't see shit, lor. You just see a bunch of shaky footage, which I also can do.
For me, that's...
Done. I have a horror film.
For me, I know what they're going with is like the mystery of the unknown. Like, oh, it's so horrific that you can't even see it, or like something like that, because it's shaky. It's to create an era of authenticity, but I feel like it's been overdone.
Yeah, but even within the movie, if you want to do this where it's so scary and so shaky you can't even see it, it should only be done once. They do it for everything.
Yeah.
Every scare in the movie was like that. You don't see actually what's happening. But have you since we are kind of going down this road, you should. Have you watched Midsommar?
No, you told me to watch it. I still haven't watched it.
Midsommar is really one of my favorite horror /
That is also on my list. There's also another one. I'm thinking of ending things. I heard that's a horror as well.
I didn't watch that.
I haven't watched it either, but I heard it's actually really good. It's about this woman who is visiting her boyfriend's house or something. Boyfriend's not her in-laws lah, but her boyfriend's parents. And something like that. I think she's wanting to, hence the name. I'm thinking of ending things. I think she wants to break up. I could be wrong. Please don't kill me, internet. It's been a while since I read the synopsis, the quick one-line synopsis. Please don't kill me.
Relax lah. Yeah. Try like the standout horror for me this year is Midsommar, even though it came out a few years ago, but it only got on my radar this year. And I watched it with Lena, and we both loved it. It was great. It was handled so well. If there's one thing that scares me more than ghosts or demons, is cults. And that was a cult film well handled. Like, you literally see the main character descend into madness. And through that, I really started to like Florence Pugh.
Oh wait, it was Florence Pugh?
Florence Pugh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, her performance was not really good in the first, I would say, 10-20 minutes. I mean, I'll give you a bit of a spoiler, but it won't really affect the story much. The first half an hour, you see her being all mopey and depressed because of something that she did or didn't do. She caused the death of her entire family by an accident. Right? It's not like she wanted it, but her sadness just didn't sell it to me? Yeah, it just didn't sell it for me lah.
You didn't buy it.
Right, I didn't buy it. I didn't buy that she was sad about it. I can see that she's sad. I just don't believe it. And we're back. The battery fucking died on one of our cameras, so we have to do it. Where were we?
You're talking about Midsommar.
Yeah, I
The
think.
spoiler.
Yeah, I think we don't have to go too far into it. Just watch it and tell me if you like it. Yeah, like, you know how you intend to start your own video essay series?
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping you would do Midsommar.
Really?
Please, yeah.
In the middle of the podcast? Okay.
It's okay, what? Next time we can drink beer even.
We'll see.
It's okay, what? Fuck. It's okay, one lah. We are already cussing on the podcast.
You are. I'm not.
You can.
I know, but I don't want.
This is already a show that is supposed to let us just be ourselves and not have to be so professional all the time, and to truly be ourselves lah. That's the point of it. I mean, I won't go like farting on camera lah, but still.
I'm thinking about doing one on Tokyo Vice.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure,
We never got to talk about Tokyo Vice
sure. For a lot of reasons.
for a lot of reasons. I really wanted to talk about Tokyo Vice, and now being that it's so late already, I don't really remember much.
Watch again, oh.
Yeah, I don't really actually want to. It's such a slow. I mean I like slow burn movies, but movies, TV shows, but it's like
Actually, that's where I was about to lead to.
yeah.
Now that we have covered movies, what's your favorite TV series that you've watched this year?
Does Mandalorian count?
Did it come out this year?
No, but
lor,
I
then
watched,
no lah,
I watched
this
it
year
this
lah.
year.
No, wait. Yeah, if you watch it this year, then can this year.
I watched it this year, so like Mandalorian. Specifically, I'd say season 2. Season 2. But some of my favorite episode of Mandalorian is actually either the last episode of season 2 or the first episode of season 1. That's my personal
I
opinion.
don't remember what is it about. What do I like?
Oh, or the first episode of season 2. Yeah.
This might be a bit late. Actually, it's not it is a bit late. But off the top of my head right now, my favorite series, anything that I watched is Arcane.
Yeah. I wanted to watch that, but the thing is, I have no idea about anything of League of Legends. So.
I don't either. Dude, you game more than me.
Yeah, but I don't play League of Legends.
Yeah, but the fact that I like it says something.
You don't have to be a gamer to like Arcane.
I think just storyline wise it was so good already. But I don't know how many episodes is it. I think it's 8 or 9 episodes. I think so.
It's 8. I think it's 8.
Yeah. Just tahan through the first 2. First one very slow.
Oh, it's also Florence Pugh again.
No lah.
You know what?
Arcane is. Really meh?
I think. Oh wait, no, it's a different person. It's Haley Steinfeld and Ella Purnell, I think. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, my bad.
You know Arcane is the animated show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
As in
didn't know
like
it
the
was
voice
him.
actresses of.
I didn't know that. I'm a huge fan of Haley Steinfeld because she's just so cute.
Okay.
But yeah, just I mean if you do intend to watch it, which now you have 2 weeks to watch all these shows lah, since you're not doing more work. I still am, but whatever. Watch Arcane. Just sit through the first 2 episodes. Just tahan through. A lot of things happen, actually. Even in the first episode, a lot of things happen. It progresses pretty fast. But whatever happens, you don't care about. The opening scene is a bunch of kids just parkouring off roofs to go into someone's house that seemingly looks rich just to steal stuff. It was a great sequence, but you don't care about it. Like, oh, okay lah, it's well animated. The characters are interesting. One got red hair, one got pink hair, one got blue hair, one got spiky hair. Cool. But other than that, you can't really care much about it until episode 3. Then it hits you like, whew. After that, I cannot stop really. And I've heard of this show Arcane. It's been on Netflix for a while now. But I tried watching parts of episode 1. I just couldn't get through. Then you know who made me watch it? I saw a TikTok on Henry Cavill talking about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? If Henry Cavill says so, I'm gonna watch it. And he was like saying that somebody else recommended that show to him, and then he was like, fine, I'll watch it. And he went home. He also said that he watched until episode 2 or 3, and he realized that he couldn't stop. Him and his girlfriend couldn't stop until the next day, where he had to go for filming. And he binged the whole thing in one night. And that was what I did also.
I think I saw that interview. Was it BBC One?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I did
Yeah.
see that interview.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that section of it. I
Yeah.
did see that.
So it's because seeing that, it made me want to go and watch it. Which I did lah. And no regrets. No regrets. I was literally watching We're the Millers today. Did you watch that show?
No, but I know the memes. I know the memes of no regrets. Rugrats.
Yeah, no regrets. Not even a letter. You should watch that show. Fuck.
What was it? I'm only getting paid 10,000. I'm only getting paid 5. You guys getting paid?
Yeah.
that one.
So, do you see the blooper shots at the end?
No. But I
Okay.
did see the behind the scenes where they prank Jennifer Aniston, where they played the Friends team.
That's the bloopers.
Okay, if you mean that, yeah, then I've seen that.
That's part of the bloopers that they showed at the end while the credits were rolling.
Okay, but I only seen that one blooper.
Uh,
That one specific blooper.
It's quite good. It's quite a good show. I mean, it's funny as shit lah. And there's another show that I thought is worth mentioning. Not great, but not bad, but worth to mention. Is it called Come On Darling or something? Or something Darling, also starring Florence Pugh. It was starring Florence Pugh and Harry Styles. I thought that was not bad.
What is it, like a musical drama or something?
No. It's a thriller.
Actually, speaking of Harry Styles, here's how I'm gonna segue. Harry Styles, he was in Dunkirk, which was created by Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is gonna make a new movie coming out next year, Oppenheimer. I am so excited for Oppenheimer.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yes.
So have I. It's called Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't
Worry, Darling.
worry, darling.
It's not a bad show. Yeah. But there's a lot of controversy behind it, which I don't want to get into now. It's just
Wait, is it a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie.
Oh, is it the one what's her face? Olivia Wilde?
Yeah.
Directed by Olivia Wilde?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's the movie that separated her from her husband, Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, okay, that's how I knew about that movie. I found out about that movie.
Me too.
It's from that controversy.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about it. Yeah.
But there's other stuff about it, but I don't want to get into it. But it's really not a bad movie. Like, controversies aside, it's a okay film. Yeah. Yeah, I saw the trailer of Oppenheimer. I feel like I don't quite get it, but I will watch it.
I was just actually I was hoping that it would be all in black and white, but it looks like it's in color.
You know, speaking of black and white, right?
Yeah.
I recently, and by recently I mean like still within this year or within the last 3 months, actually, I finally got Lena to watch Memento.
I still haven't watched that. I'm sorry. I'm scatterbrained on my movies.
And here I thought you genuinely loved films.
I did. I just haven't watched Memento, and among other things as well.
I mean, I haven't watched Tenet.
There. But I mean, in my opinion, Memento, I think
It's the first.
It's gonna be a better movie.
Yeah.
It's a smarter movie in my opinion.
I would say that the Oppenheimer trailer gave me Memento vibes. And Lena was so pissed off at the end of Memento. Yeah.
I want to change my answer for the Batman thing.
What?
Cause okay, it's not a movie that came out this year, but it's a movie I did watch this year.
What?
12 Angry Men, a classic. I finally got to watch it.
Oh.
So it's 1957 Henry Fonda. So I finally got to watch it, and people say call it a classic. And I'm like, yeah. Why is it? I actually thought when it said 12 Angry Men, I thought it was like a Guy Ritchie film, where it's like 12 angry men and like 12 men that's like all like bank robbers or criminals, and they all try to backstab one another. It's like that. There was like that one movie by, actually it might have been by Guy Ritchie, or where they all try to backstab one another. What's that movie called? The Gentleman. I think it came out like a few years ago.
I am totally lost here.
I forget who made that movie, but it's like The Gentleman was like, I don't know. I think everyone is like a criminal and something like that. So, but I finally watched 12 Angry Men after like years of wanting to watch it, and I just was lazy, and so like I finally watched it. You know, a movie that came out 65 years ago. You know, loved it. You know, it's still a movie I can sit down and just watch. Like I've watched it like probably 4-5 times already.
I see.
I watched it when I went to Malaysia, and the line was like 4 hours long. I watched it. That's how I spend the time.
Then how do then what do your friends do?
Just go on their phones, watch whatever anime, went through their
Wait, so
images.
y'all were just in the car or in the bus just silently doing your own thing?
We were on our feet. We were walking through customs. We took a bus and then we just walked through customs.
So you were just silently doing your own thing?
Well, we talked for like an hour straight, and after a while we just had nothing else to talk about. we had nothing else to talk about. We also have our own social batteries, so we were like, okay, time for a recharge.
Okay. The funny thing that is you recharge with your phone while your phone battery drains. Okay. I want to wrap this up soon because I also don't want the first episode to be way too fucking long. But it's been fun lah. I have a last thing to ask about movies.
Mm-hmm.
Of all time, okay, because this one I really feel like I rented enough to some people, but I want to get it on the record. Okay, so it's my opportunity to do that. What is your worst, most hated movie of all time? You take some time to think about it because I want to say mine first.
Yeah, go ahead.
It used to be Murder on the Orient Express, the new one,
Ooh.
the one starring Johnny Depp. Not starring, but it has him. I was so angry. I don't know about you, but one of my favorite movie genres that I don't mind paying in theaters to go and watch is the whodunit genre. I love it because I feel that it's very interactive with the audience, even if he's not actually breaking the fourth wall and asking you, so who done it? You know, like fucking Dora the Explorer. But as the audience, as the viewer, you kind of like watch along and you're like, I think it's him, I think it's her. And especially if you're watching with a loved one, then or a friend, and y'all can talk about it while the movie is ongoing. I mean, of course, if you're in the theaters, then talk softly lah. But I love whodunit genres. I've always watched them. And I hated that one so much because at the end of it, I mean, I don't care about spoilers lah, because it's a shit movie, so don't watch it. Everybody did it.
Yeah, I know what happened.
It's so stupid. Then I feel like I waste my time, I waste my money to go and watch a movie where I was diligently trying to guess, and then in the end, everybody had a hand in it. And then it's so dumb because everyone took turns stabbing him with the same fucking knife.
Isn't that in the original?
No,
It's not.
it's not. The original book is not. The original book came out in the 40s.
Yeah.
It's not like that one.
Oh.
It's still only 2 killers out of the entire train. The entire car? Like the train car lah,
Yeah.
right? It had like, I think like 20 over suspects or 10 plus. Only 2 people did it. But technically only 1 person did it because the other one was the accomplice, was the watcher. But then here they changed it because they thought it was very smart to have everyone do it. Like, we're gonna keep you guessing for the next 2 hours, but actually all of you got it wrong. But also all of you got it right because it's everyone. It's so stupid. So that series of whodunit, I mean, that brand had another one called the Now something.
Death on the Now.
No, Murder on the Now. Death on the Now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even watch it. I don't want to, because I feel like it waste my time. If you can't even get it right the first time, I'm not gonna watch your second one.
I didn't watch it, but I have I don't know. I'm gonna probably guess. I mean, the movie's out now. I could probably just like find out for myself. But I think there wasn't even a death. They might have just been like, oh, turns out it was like a Ponzi scheme. The person like pretended to die to fake his death, and then it turns out he's alive. I feel like they might do that if that's the case. If how it went.
Yeah, so I really hate that. But there's another one that I really like. There's 2 that I like. Wait, let me Google the name. I can't remember it now. Who done it? Right. There are 2. Okay, there are 2 good examples of recent whodunit genre movies.
Knives Out.
One that stars Adam Sandler called Murder Mystery. That one was him and Jennifer Aniston. It was a comedy / murder mystery. That was very good. Because at the very least, even though it was comedic and it was, I mean, mind you, Adam Sandler's brand of humor, which is I'm not a huge fan of lah. You know that. But at least at the end, it pays off because there's only one killer, right? And they go through a series of jokes just to get to the killer, which is quite funny. And he has a really good, intense car chase scene as well. Second one will be the Knives Out series. I'm actually planning to watch the Glass Onion one later. It's on Netflix today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, today.
Okay. But first I have to watch Obi-Wan.
Sure.
I have to watch Obi-Wan.
It's like, it came out today and I intend to watch it later after you go. Yeah. So I'm quite excited for that. And come on, like Daniel Craig with a southern accent. Come on.
I suspect foul play.
Yeah, that's just gold. There's another one called Murderville. It's also on Netflix. The one later, if you got time, right? If after we finish this, like if you want to just chill for a while, I show you one episode. It stars Will Arnett.
Oh, is that the one where it's like kind of improv?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So like they bring on their celebrity friends. Everybody has a script but them.
Yeah. Wait. Will Arnett has the script. Right?
Everyone has a script except for the guest.
The guest. Okay. Yeah.
That was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And I watched the recent like the Christmas one, which is it's very funny lah. But it's still good. Like even as a whodunit genre, they only have one killer at the end, which is something that I hate. I hate Murder on the Express for not doing that properly. But despite me ranting for it for the past 10 minutes, right? I have a new movie that was worse than that.
Our Girls Go Army.
No.
Okay.
I don't even consider that as a movie, okay? Just for the record, I don't care. I don't consider Our Girls Go Army as a movie. I consider it as a 2-hour-long commercial. Advertisement. Yeah, of non-stop sponsorships. But that really, in my books, is not a movie. It's just a 2-hour-long video that happens to be in the cinemas.
If the director of Our Girls Go Army makes a detective story, will it be called a neo-noir?
Nah. Fuck you.
This has been Zachary's pun of the podcast.
You do know that once you say that, it means every podcast you must do at least one, right?
I'll think of something.
Okay, we'll see. So, I have another one that I think is worse than Murder on the Orient Express. Live action Mulan.
Yeah. Oh, I hated that. I hated that.
You know, I genuinely love the Mulan cartoon movie.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Right, out of all the princesses in Disney, Mulan's my favorite. And purely for the reason, one, she's Asian. So I feel that that's some sort of Asian representation. Is voiced by Lea Salonga, is it? Who is also Asian, like if I'm not wrong.
No, Ming-Na Wen.
Ming-Na Wen.
Who is
also Asian, lah.
who is the character? I forgot what's the name in The Mandalorian. Also, I forget what's the name.
Okay, it's voiced by Ming-Na Wen. The songs are sung by Lea Salonga, who is also Asian, Filipino, but Asia. And she's the only princess that did not require saving. In fact, she saved the entire country.
Technically, she's also not a princess.
She is.
By what logic?
I mean, in the Disney sphere, she's classified as one of the princesses.
Yeah, but
yes, but she didn't marry royalty.
Yeah.
So technically, she's not. But if you go to Disneyland, she will be regarded as one of the princesses.
I mean, in regards to that, yeah. But I mean, like, she's not royalty. She's actually like, she doesn't come from any royal blood. Or like, she doesn't even marry royal. Not saying you have to. I'm just saying that they marketed her as a princess, even though she's technically not. That's all.
Yeah.
I just find it funny. That's all.
I mean, if that's the case, then there are a few more that are not princesses, what? Moana's not a princess.
Then Pocahontas shouldn't also be there.
She's not a princess either.
Yeah, but then they market them as...
Yeah. So, I mean, I will still call her like one of the 13 Disney princesses lah. Just that she's the only one that did not require saving, and in fact, she saved the entire country. But I hated the movie so much. The moment you hear that they plan to remove the song element, it's a no-go for me already. Because Mulan is an actual character, like it's an actual historic person. And if you want to watch a serious war film revolving her, go to China. There are like so many of them. What makes that one special is because it's Disney's version of Mulan, where songs is included, where they have a talking dragon that sounds suspiciously like Eddie Murphy.
Disrespect on you, disrespect on your cow, etc., etc.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so that topped Murder on the Orient Express for me as one of the all-time worst movies. Okay, I'm done ranting. Finally, it's online somewhere, and I don't have to talk about it again. You, go.
Okay. A few come to mind, and okay, 3 come to mind. Two of them are easy, in my opinion. I think they're 2 easy choices. But the second one, the third one is a bit controversial. I'll go with the 2 easy ones first. First one, The Last Airbender live action movie. The one by M. Night Shyamalan. I will admit, when I was younger, I think I was 12 years old, I watched it. I actually liked it. But that's when I didn't know better. Looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking? It's terrible. The one thing I can say is that I do like how some of the stunts, are technically well choreographed. Because the kid is actually doing like the stunts. Most of them, obviously the ones that doesn't require CGI. But some of it, is impressive in some. And I forget his name, but Dev Patel and the guy playing Uncle Iroh, they are probably the best things in the movie. So that's my first.
Hold on, I have something to say about that.
Yeah.
So this might get me some hate also, but I don't care.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
when I first watched it, I liked it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that young. That's only because I didn't watch the cartoon. Then I watched it, I'm like, okay, it's actually not too bad. I don't understand where's all the hate coming from. Because I already knew that this movie had a lot of hate. I didn't watch it in the theaters. I watched it a few years after it came out. So I was already aware of the hate that this movie was getting. So I watched it, I tried it, I'm like, is it really that bad? Then I tried it. Then I'm like, okay lah, not bad what? Like some of the effects were not bad, especially the earth bending. I quite like how they did the effects for earth bending. It felt flawless to me. Fire bending was a bit meh. Water bending was bad.
I'll wait for you to finish to talk about
Okay.
earth bending.
Then I'm like, is it really that bad? I don't see what's so bad about it. Then I went to watch the cartoon. I'm like, I get it now. The cartoon was so good. It was so rich in story. Yeah, then I get it. But yeah, I don't hate that movie. I don't think it's the all-time worst adaptation. If you want to say worst, I would say Dragon Ball.
Haha.
I got angry watching Dragon Ball.
There was the only reason why I don't put Dragon Ball.
Chi.
The only reason why I don't put Dragon Ball up there is mostly because I've never really watched Dragon Ball. I'm not a fan of the Dragon Ball show, but I can perfectly understand. I've seen the movie, even as a kid, for Dragon Ball's DBE, Dragon Ball Evolution.
DBE.
Yeah, DBE. Like, even as a kid, when I first saw it, I cringed at some of the parts. I'm like, this is making me a bit uncomfortable. So I can fully understand. The only reason why I put the Last Airbenders on top is because I did watch the show when I was a kid. I still love the show as a kid. Avatar's Love, the song, still makes me feel emotional. Iroh's song, Leaves from the Vine, still makes me emotional. I love that song. It still makes me feel like, So that is more closer to my heart, obviously. So, and back then with what you said, the earth bending, right? I want to say they butchered earth bending so
Really?
bad. In the show, in the movie, in the live action movie, there was 6 earthbenders to lift up one rock, and then you have a 7th earthbender to shoot the rock. There has been so many times in the cartoon show, one earthbender could like take out like 7 guys.
Yeah.
And
yeah, actually that's what I like about the cartoon. In fact, I was telling Lina that because I was with her, I was already in a relationship with her when I watched the movie for the first time. So it's within the last 5 years. Imagine that, like how old was I when I watched this show? I was in my late 20s already. Then I'm like, I get it. Like I finally get why people hate this movie so much, because I was in the middle of watching the cartoon. Now I finished it, but I can't remember already. I didn't remember the main character Aang. But I told Lina one of my favorite characters actually is the earthbending, that the blind kid.
Toph Bayfeng.
Toph, right?
Yeah.
He's so good. He's so powerful.
She.
My bad, she. I forgot already lah. But yeah, because that series I watched it while I was editing. So it's like sort of in the background playing, so I know what's happening more or less, but not really.
A little bit dive into my personal life. That Avatar also has a bit of a special place in my heart because it's one of the few shows that I watched with my mom.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, we watched. I mean, okay, she only watched
Like the cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like we watched season 3, because back then, because Singapore gets some of the TV shows a little late, like delayed, right? Back then, when Netflix and everything wasn't a thing, so we always go to like, our next door neighbors and we buy DVDs, and I managed to find season 3, because in Singapore at that time season 2 had just finished, and so we finally found the DVD of season 3, and I was like, please, let's buy it. I was begging her. We finally did, and then this was when I didn't have my own DVD player in my room, or like my own TV, so I would go into their room at night to watch it, and my dad was overseas, so I would just chill with my mom, and she started getting into it, and we both watched it.
Nice.
So it's a special.
That feels like a very nice nostalgic memory.
Yeah, so that's it. That's another reason why Avatar, the cartoon show, has a special place in my heart. So So, and my mom also watched the movie with me. We watched it on DVD. My mom I think she still likes it, but I don't. I think it's.
What's your second one?
Okay, some of you may not even remember this movie, but it's by Michael Bay. It's called 6 Underground. Or Underground 6. I think it's 6 Underground.
The one with Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
You don't like that?
No.
I don't love it, but I don't think it comes off as a bad movie. Yeah.
The reason why is because when I was a kid, I used to actually like Michael Bay. Like his Transformers movies. You could say 2 was terrible. I still liked watching 2.
I like 1.
I like
That's
one
it.
of I now I'm older. 1 is probably still the best.
That's it.
But I still like probably the first 3 Transformer movies. 4 and 5, I'm not even gonna talk about that. I didn't even watch them, so I can't have a. I don't have.
I didn't even know that. I don't even know got 4 and 5.
Oh really?
I didn't even know got 5. I know got 1, 2, 3 lah.
Yeah. So at first I didn't think Michael Bay was.
It's all by Shia LaBeouf, right?
No, 4 and 5 is Mark Wahlberg.
No, I mean 1, 2, 3. It's all by Shia
Yes,
LaBeouf, right?
Yes.
I do recall seeing the trailer with Mark Wahlberg, but I didn't watch it at all. I don't fucking care. I didn't even watch. I think I barely finished Bumblebee, but I watched it because of Haley Steinfeld.
I didn't even watch Bumblebee mostly because I was kind of transformed out at that point. 'Cause I was like, so I rolled out of there. So you know, so this was when I was. I didn't.
Sorry, you were saying Six Underground, and then
Yeah, this is when I thought Michael Bay was still okay, but I was starting to get tired of it. And then his most recent movie we watched at the time because it was on Netflix. My parents were like, "Hey Zack, how about we all get together, go out into the living room, and then we just turn on the TV and watch, sit down on the couch and watch a movie." I'm like, okay, and then we were watching the beginning. Already the beginning of the movie, I was tapped out. I really was like, this movie sucks.
Michael Bay's movie very high contrast,
Oh yeah.
Like if you were to watch his Transformer movies and then Six Underground as a marathon, wow, I think your eyes will be so tired there because the color contrast is so high.
He ups the contrast and the saturation. Whew. The color to get real.
It's too much.
There's only been one movie, in my opinion, I can argue and I would say is okay, 2 if you consider the Transformers movies, but the first Transformer movie, but there's only been 2 movies I can argue I think are actually genuinely good that I've seen, which is the first Transformers movie and 13 Hours. That's the only 2.
The one with
John
Krasinski?
Yes.
Ah, the one not bad.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
I've seen that too.
The one quite memorable, and honestly it didn't feel like a standard Michael Bay movie. It felt different.
For the first I actually told my friends that I thought that was probably the most mature Michael Bay movie I've seen. Yeah, in my opinion.
Most out of his regular style.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, last one.
Last one is very controversial. I'm going to get hate for this. Sorry.
Who cares?
Yeah. Sorry. Incredibles 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you like it.
No, I said I didn't. I didn't like it. I mean, I don't hate it, but it really didn't leave that great of a taste in my mouth.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's not.
I know we've had this. I think we've had this discussion.
Like even watching it a few times now, in my current age now, I still quite like it. I don't love it. The first one is still better, but I think. Okay, what do you not like about the second one?
I think that they made a poor decision to continue from where the first one left off. I think they should have just did a time skip. 2, the villain, really predictable. Not predictable, but really not interesting or kind of lame. Their motivation was kind of lame.
Wait, who's the villain? Oh, right, the Screenslaver.
You can't even remember.
Screenslaver.
Technically, I don't even consider the Screenslaver the villain because the Screenslaver was a mind-controlled pizza boy that the main villain mind-controlled to be the Screenslaver. So I wouldn't even consider the Screenslaver as the actual villain. It's I don't even remember her name.
Evelyn Dever.
Thank you.
You know why I know?
Because you watched it recently?
No, you know why I remember?
Why?
Because it's a wordplay of evil endeavor. Yeah. So it's Evelyn Dever. So I remember that.
I can give the movie credit. I think its dialogue is actually pretty good. There's scenes where I still remember those scenes where Evelyn and Mrs. Incredible, Elastigirl, are sitting down and just talking. And in my opinion, that was my favorite part of the movie because the dialogue was so good. I can still give the movie props. I just Incredibles 2. The first Incredibles is still probably my top 5, maybe even top 3 Pixar movies of all time. Top 3,
Wow, now you're gonna start on the list.
Yeah, Incredibles is gonna make. Incredibles has a really good, it really made me wow, really good. It's still my top 3, and I was so excited when they first announced that there's Incredibles 2. So, and then eventually when I saw it, I thought it was okay. But the more I let it sink in and the more it grew, right, it made me not. The reason why I'm putting it as like one of my least favorite movies is because it made me not want to watch the first one again. Because if I have to watch the first one, I have to watch the second one because that's the continuation of the story. You know what I mean? Of course, I could be
Sure.
like, oh, I can just watch the first one again, and I have, you know. But it's hard when you know that there's a continuation and cannot canonically, you know. And also, I've had this weird relationship with like the theme of mind control in movies. I don't like it, but when a character gets mind control, I want to see what happens because I want to see how they get out of it. But I've never liked that story trope. But that's just a personal thing.
I think mind control is one of those elements that feels like it could very easily fall into the lazy writing category,
Yeah.
where you just use that as a way to explain everything that happens in your show, and it's right alongside another element like that there is time travel. They can easily use that to explain, because of this happened, that's why this happened, you know? And it just feels to me like it's very lazy writing lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we have our own like things that we don't like. I'm actually okay with time travel. The one thing I don't like about time travel is inconsistency. Like different rules for different movies.
Yeah.
So that's the one pet peeve lah. But I understand, you know, different movies, different rules, but still, like Avengers has different rules. Back to the Future has different rules. So
Hot Tub Time Machine has different rules.
Hot Tub Time Machine has different rules.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go back in time to baby Thanos and.
Okay. Okay. Interesting to hear that. I did not expect The Incredibles 2 would make the list at all.
Like, if you still want to talk about like voice acting, animation, everything is still an improvement.
You know what? I do want to talk about voice acting. My favorite voice actor on that show is the brother.
Dash.
No, the brother of Evelyn.
Oh, Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that plays Better Call Saul.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they modeled his character so nicely that I believe the voice is coming from him. Yeah. But yeah, that's like, plus I'm I'm a fan of him lah. Despite not having watched Better Call Saul yet.
Don't worry, neither have I. I'm sorry.
I do intend to.
I do intend to as well.
But it took me very long also to start and finish Breaking Bad. Although I still stand by that. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't so good that it made me want to binge the whole thing, but it was good enough that I was able to finish it, and I can proudly say that it is one of the top 10 best series in my book. I wouldn't go top 5 lah, top 10 lah. It was very good. Like the slow burn from season 1 all the way to the last season makes the emotional departure at the end like wow, shag, you know. But that's it. But if you ask me to watch again, I wouldn't. It's too slow.
Personally, I would.
I wouldn't.
I would. I actually tried, and the only reason why I didn't manage to finish it is because I'm waiting for Friends. We managed to get until the second season, but that's all. The only reason why I didn't is because I'm doing it for Friends, not necessarily for me, because I can remember a lot of stuff.
Okay, so last thing before we officially wrap, since you fucking started at least, I need to finish it. Top 3 Pixar movies. Just say the name, don't explain why. We can explain why next time. Go from 3, and then 2, and then 1.
Incredibles. No, Ratatouille 3. Incredibles 2. Oh, I can't decide between 2. Like, there's 2. Oh my god. You know what? No. I'll go with my heart. I will say Inside Out. Number 1. I will say Inside Out. I will admit I was caught in between Coco or Inside Out.
Coco. Oh, okay. Cool.
I was caught between Coco or Inside Out.
Interesting.
But I went with Inside Out because what I liked about Inside Out was that there was no villain. There was an antagonist, but there was no villain. In Coco, there was. And for me, like, you know, if you can make an interesting story without an actual like villain, you know, I think that's more impressive.
Okay, I'll tell you mine. Although I'm not sure if one of them is it Disney also.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, if you just give it a chance, let mine be Disney Pixar lah. Okay, but they're all 3D animated.
Okay.
Okay, Number 3, what was it? Toy Story 4.
Okay.
No, sorry. What am I saying? Toy Story 2.
Okay.
The one where Jessie was first introduced.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love Jessie and Bullseye.
There's nothing sexual about it. I'm just like, yeah, she's a great character. That's all.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite songs out there is When Somebody Loved Me.
Mm.
When Somebody Loved Me. That was so fucking sad. Yeah. So number 2, Incredibles 1.
Same place as me, so.
Number 1, Bolt.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, Bolt.
I like Bolt too.
I cried when I watched Bolt.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. It's the first Disney Pixar film that made me cry.
I think it's Disney. I don't think it's Pixar.
Ah, right. Okay, Disney Pixar then.
I will say this:
Bolt.
Bolt is an underrated,
Very,
is an
very
underrated movie.
All the characters are so, like, I like all of them.
The only reason why it's not. I will say this: it's not in my top 10. I would say, but I can understand why it will be in someone. I'm surprised it's in your top 3, but I understand why.
It's my number 1.
It's your number 1. Excuse me, but I can understand like it's very dog centric also, and I know you love dogs. So do I. But there's a few things that I don't like about Bolt, and I can say that. One, I'm not the biggest fan of the hamster.
I'm not either. I think the hamster is super annoying, but it has one of the best one-liners. It's a good day to die. That's my favorite. I have actually used that with my friends before.
Okay, and then 2, I'm not the biggest fan of the whole like he thinks he's a hero and then he does all these like superhero stuff, and then Bolt at first he thinks that he's a super dog, and then he tries to do all these things, and he's kind of like I don't know what's that trope called, but is it like a fish out of water or something?
Fish out of water.
Fish out of water.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of the fish out of water trope. I think it's probably like not. I don't hate it. I think what I loved, I thought was a great choice. They got rid of that whole like him thinking he was a super dog very fast.
No, they have that there.
Yeah.
Not because it's like they set the premise and story up of him thinking he's a super dog.
Mm-hmm.
Not for laughs. Is to let the cat teach him how to be a dog, and while teaching him, she learns love herself.
I get it.
That's the premise for him thinking that he's a superhero dog.
I get it, but I just like for the initial parts when he did think he was a super dog, I didn't.
It was very fast only, what?
Yeah, so I was very happy that it was very fast. Like I'm happy. Was it like after like only like 1/3 of the movie that he already like
less than like I think not even the first act.
He got
over it.
He had to save the cat from the pound. That's about it. I remember that part where he realized like, yeah, I'm not a super dog.
That was that wasn't when he realized. He already started to realize when he escaped, and then he was trying to like go like just go across the streets of New York on his own, and then he was like trying to chop someone, or he was trying to jump far, and so that was when he realized. When he was trying to save the cat from the pound, that was when he accepted that he really doesn't have powers. So throughout that middle portion, it was just him in denial. Yeah.
Okay, that's a different way to look at it. I don't agree, but maybe I should go back and watch it again. Maybe I can see.
The hamster, I agree with you, is the most annoying character. I don't love it. I don't love the voice, but I love all the one-liners. Yeah.
I will say,
but it had the pizza truck leh.
It did.
It did. If I'm not wrong, I think it had the pizza truck.
Oh my goodness! Wait.
Can you Google later? I want to end the show first.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, but interesting choice. I've never heard anyone mention
right?
Bolt as their favorite like Disney / Pixar animated movie. Interesting choice. Unique choice.
Okay, just for fun then, your least favorite Disney Pixar?
Well, the one I've seen, Cars 2. I've watched it once and I hated watching it.
I don't mind Cars 2. Like, I don't mind the Cars series. What is the one that... The Good Dinosaur? I don't like that one.
There's good scenes in it though.
There's good scenes, sure. But it wouldn't want to make me watch again.
But in Cars 2, there's like no good scenes. In my opinion.
Cars 2, which is the one that they went overseas?
Cars 2.
Cars 2, yeah, that one wasn't that good.
England, Cars 2.
Right. That one wasn't that good. But I think The Good Dinosaur was a bit worse.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I remember watching like I was on Disney Plus and I was like looking through the movies, and I was like, why not? Good dinosaur. I didn't even pay attention to it. I can understand like it's boring. It's definitely boring.
Yeah.
But in the scenes that I did pay attention to, the scenes that I wanted to pay attention to, those individual scenes in itself were really good. Like the scenes that I knew were gonna happen.
You know what I didn't like the Good Dinosaur? It's the same story but packaged differently.
I get it.
From Jungle Book. Think about it.
What
It's not beat for beat, sure, but it has the same elements of Jungle Book.
is it just so like the little cave kid is Mowgli, and the dinosaur is Baloo?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not beat for beat, but close lah.
Okay.
Right, that's why I'm like, this is so similar to Jungle Book. Then my second least favorite is Onward.
Okay. I can understand that.
I watched it. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't watch it a second time.
Yeah. Same. Same.
And I just don't think Chris Pratt sounds good in animation lah. Which brings me to I don't think he will do good in Mario.
I think everything else will be good except him
Yeah.
in Mario.
Yeah, I'm most excited for the Luigi. I don't know what's his name. I can't remember, but I like Charlie Day.
Oh, Charlie Day's playing.
Charlie Day is Luigi. I love Charlie Day.
Okay. The one thing is his voice can get a bit grating, but hopefully they'll do it right.
We'll see. Maybe when it comes up, we can do a review. Anyway, let's end this episode. If not, it's like almost 2 hours long already. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of this content. We'll see you next month. I don't think we need to have a proper closing lah. Bye.
We've brought you this content. Get ready for the next content. I have no idea. Let's end it there.
Can.